Chapter 26. Training Technology Teams in Corporate Lending. Technology teams building corporate lending platforms often face a fundamental challenge. They must first think like credit professionals and only then as programmers. A common pitfall is to focus solely on solving IT problems, rather than addressing the underlying banking challenges. This chapter outlines a comprehensive curriculum, mental models, and effective training techniques designed to bridge this gap and cultivate a risk-aware technology team. The core problem: developers don't understand risk. At the heart of the issue is a disconnect in understanding risk. Developers, by nature, tend to focus on functional requirements and technical implementation. However, corporate lending is fundamentally about managing risk. The typical tech mindset is to build a loan module with fields for rate, tenor, and amount. The bank reality is to manage a risk boundary called a facility that controls multiple economic instruments called loans with complex consumption rules for funded and non-funded exposure. This divergence leads to systems that can process transactions but fail to provide critical risk insights. Such systems often cannot answer questions like, what's my true group exposure, including letters of credit and guarantees? Can I approve this drawdown without breaching country limits? What's the margin step-up trigger for this covenant breach? How much risk-weighted assets does this facility consume? The solution is to implement a 90-day immersion program designed to rewire thinking from focusing on mere features to understanding and building a risk control architecture. Week 1 to 2. The Credit Professional Mindset Shift. The initial weeks are dedicated to immersing technology teams in the credit professional's world, fostering a deep understanding of core concepts. Day 1 emphasizes that facilities are risk, not loans. A facility is primarily a risk commitment, not just a collection of loans. It represents the bank's maximum exposure to a borrower or group. Teams dissect a real $500 million facility letter to extract the true limit, understand funded versus non-funded consumption, identify sublimits and hierarchy, learn expiry and renewal mechanics, and recognize conditions precedent blocking drawdowns. Homework requires mapping current system objects to facility reality. The expected answer is often, we don't have facilities, just loan accounts. This common response underscores the initial gap in understanding. Day 3 features a live credit committee simulation where teams review real anonymized credit memos, present within 15 minutes, vote on approval or rejection, and debrief by comparing decisions with actual committee outcomes. Key takeaways include understanding risk concentration, qualitative judgment beyond financial ratios, and exit path concerns for recovery. Week 3 to 4. Domain Object Mastery. This phase focuses on building a robust understanding of the core domain objects in corporate lending and their interrelationships. Object hierarchy training involves building a facility tranche drawdown model in Excel. Given a $1 billion syndicated facility with 3 tranches and 5 lenders, teams must allocate commitments among lenders, process the first drawdown across all lenders, calculate interest by lender, and handle a 25% prepayment. Success requires achieving a perfect match to the instructor's solution within 4 hours. Developers must internalize the hierarchy. Group limit at the top, containing facilities with specific expiry dates, which contain tranches with different currencies and interest rates, which contain drawdowns allocated across multiple lenders. Week 5 to 6. Real System Deep Dives. This phase involves reverse engineering and understanding existing, industry-standard corporate lending systems like ALGO, Loan IQ, and T24. Day 10 requires explaining why a tranche-to-contract to drawdown hierarchy exists, how lender allocation works mathematically, what events actually mean operationally, and why versioning matters for amendments. Day 12 involves T24 ARR versus limit simulation where teams create an arrangement controlling 3 accounts, breach a limit and observe the blocking behavior, and extend an arrangement while preserving historical data. The exam converts messy legacy data into a clean facility hierarchy with a target 85% pass rate. Week 7 to 8. Risk Engine Training. This phase is hands-on, focusing on building a core component, the limit engine in Python. Requirements include multidimensional limits for facility, group, and country levels, funded plus non-funded consumption tracking, multi-currency conversion, real-time headroom calculation, and breach workflows. Test cases cover SAR term loans, USD letters of credit under SAR facilities involving FX conversion, group breaches across 3 legal entities, and facility expiry midday blocking new transactions. Week 9 to 10, Islamic Domain Crash Course. Understanding Islamic finance principles is crucial for technology teams operating in regions where Sharia-compliant products are prevalent. Day 18 simulates Murabaha flow covering the purchase order to ownership to sale sequence, Sharia audit checklist walkthrough, profit schedule versus interest schedule comparison, and commodity Murabaha nuances. Day 20 involves building an Ajara asset register for multi-asset lease portfolios, rental recalculation on benchmark reset, ownership transfer accounting, and insurance and maintenance tracking. Week 11 to 12, Production War Stories. This phase brings theory to life by analyzing real-world production incidents. Real anonymized cases include a $200 million limit breach discovered 6 months late, resulting in regulatory fines, emphasizing the need for facility master data governance. A syndicated interest miscalculation leading to a $2 million lender dispute, highlighting the importance of event-driven recalculation engines. A Murabaha Sharia audit failure causing a $50 million facility unwind, stressing contract sequence enforcement. A 90-day covenant reporting gap causing early warning failure, underscoring monitoring calendar automation. Architects must design 7 key controls. System architects must understand and design. First, the facility master with immutable core terms and versioned amendments. Second, the limit engine with real-time multidimensional checks. Third, the event processor for drawdowns, repayments, amendments, and rate resets. Fourth, the covenant monitor with automated test scheduling and breach workflows. Fifth, the amendment versioning system preserving complete history. Sixth, the Sharia sequence validator for Islamic contracts. Seventh, comprehensive audit trails for all decisions. Code review standards enforce zero tolerance for naive loan account thinking. Code must reflect deep understanding of facilities, risk, and financial instruments. Training KPIs measure mindset shift. Pre- and post-assessment scores measure effectiveness. Facility versus loan concept mastery improves from 15% to 90%. Limit breach scenarios improve from 25% to 85%. Islamic contract flows improve from 10% to 80%. Credit committee simulation improves from 20% to 75%. Production readiness means trained team members can explain any ALGO or loan IQ screen with confidence, design T24 ARR limit integration solutions, code a basic limit engine from scratch, and defend a facility object model to the credit team. Ongoing certification. Never stop learning. Learning is continuous through quarterly new regulation deep dives, monthly live production incident reviews, weekly cross-team facility walkthroughs, and annual full recertification. The facility architect certification requires 80% exam score, live facility design exercise, code sample review, and credit team reference check. The mantra for tech teams is, I don't build loan systems. I build risk control architectures that happen to process loans. This mantra encapsulates the fundamental shift in perspective required for technology teams to excel in corporate lending, emphasizing the paramount importance of risk management over mere transaction processing.